Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Ryder back with another class. I got some good jewels to drop for you guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, turn them notifications on. So as promised, I'm going to give you guys the news clip of me last year making the news about port topics. You know, my little TikTok video went viral. I'm going to show you guys that TikTok video as well as the news clip. First, we're going to go to the TikTok video. Let's go.
At the ports of Long Beach waiting to enter. No truck driver shortage. Like and follow for part 2.
So that was a little clip right there of me going into ITS terminal. It was real crazy at ITS for some period. And the news kept on saying it was a driver shortage. It wasn't enough drivers to move the loads. So I wanted to post a video on TikTok to show the world that it wasn't no driver shortage at the ports. You know, the ports kept saying it was a driver shortage. There's not enough drivers to move the loads, blah, blah, blah. It's more than enough drivers to move the loads. The problem is it was not enough room in the ports to store empty containers, loaded containers. And guess what? At that moment, the ports would reject you. Okay, if you bring a trailer, a container into the ports, it was a certain color, they'll reject you. Okay, if it was from a certain ship, they will reject you. Okay, if you were a bobtail driver coming in, they will reject you. Okay, so it was a lot of stuff that was going on in the ports that a lot of drivers didn't want to speak up on, but I was speaking up on it. And the news seen that clip, and from that little clip right there, they asked to interview me, and I gave my opinion on what was going on at the ports. So let's go to the news clip now.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams. Governor Newsom is getting some federal help now to clear up the backlog at our ports. The Department of Transportation is setting aside billions of dollars to solve the crisis with the supply chain. NBC4's Anusha Rasta live now at the Port of Long Beach with reaction from some of the workers and what it could mean. Anusha.
Colleen, the executive director of the Port of Long Beach tells us that it is still too early to say how fast that partnership is going to help clear the backlog here. Right now, we're told there are 73 ships off the coast waiting to arrive at both ports, carrying more than 500,000 containers.
So you guys hear that? It was 73 ships waiting to get unloaded, right? 500,000 containers, right? So though that ship count got way past 120 ships, right? So here's the scam right now. So all those guys, all those containers were waiting to get unloaded, and the ports were charging the vessels a certain amount of money a day for each container on the ship that wasn't getting offloaded. So you see how the ports was getting rich at that moment, right? The ports were blaming the drivers, saying that we're not coming and getting the loads. Then they're blaming everybody else, but they're not taking the full responsibility of what was really going on. Okay, so when those ships were waiting, the ports was getting rich because the ports were charging them every day. So what's the point of sitting up there rushing to unload them ships where we're making so much damn money off of them not being unloaded? Let's continue.
The thousands of containers sitting for months without pickup at California's Port of Long Beach and neighboring Port of Los Angeles has led Sacramento to team up with Washington on finding solutions, including making it easier for truck drivers to obtain commercial driver's licenses because there's reportedly a shortage.
So it wasn't no problem of the driver shortage. It wasn't no such thing as no damn driver shortage at the ports, because at that time everybody and their mama was trying to come to the ports and make money. Okay, that's when we was making $5,000 to $7,000 a week. Who don't want to make $5,000 to $7,000 a week? You know what I'm saying? Working local. That's doing just 1 to 2 round trips a day, working local, home every night with your family. that wasn't the issue, okay? The issue was they weren't giving the drivers chassis, okay? And they were really rude about it. We would wait in line. Oh, we're not giving drivers chassis. And the reason why they weren't giving drivers chassis because they were saving the chassis for the shoremen to offload the ships. So they needed those chassis to offload the ships. Okay, then from there they will go take the pit the containers on a certain spot. So they didn't want us to get the chassis and take them to warehouse because no telling when they were going to get the chassis back. So if you was going up there in bobtail, they will reject you automatically. You couldn't go to ITS unless you had a chassis. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of ports were doing that. You don't have even Mercer did that to me a few times. Oh, we're not accepting bobtails at the moment. So they weren't telling the truth at that particular moment. They're saying, oh, it's a driver shortage. No, it's a chassis shortage. Okay, the situation with the chassis got a little better right now, but that's due to slow freight and drivers not willing to start their trucks up and pull these loads. Let's get it.
But Southern California truck drivers like Ray McDavid say the real problem is a shortage of steel trailers called chassis that connect to the truck and hold the container in place.
We're in line up to 8 to 10 hours waiting for chassis. Then they'll send all the truck drivers home and they're saying there's no chassis available.
The Port of Los Angeles explains that because the warehouses are filled, containers are sitting on truck chassis much longer than usual, waiting to get into warehouses. That's created a shortage of chassis.
And all this land that we got in Southern California, they could have found a place to store these containers. Now, let's be for reals, guys. They could have found a place to store these containers. But the truth was, a lot of the union workers at the ports were overwhelmed with the supply chain crisis, okay? They're getting hit with ships. It's too much for them. And I understand that, you know, because it was when work was busy for me, it was too much for me, you know, and I was turning loads down left and right. So I can just imagine them going to the ports. They don't want to kill themselves working. The problem would have been solved if they would have hired more people to work the ports, opened up other areas so they can pit the containers there. Okay, and the president and the governor, the ports were supposed to open the ports for 24 hours a day to where it would have been smooth. Okay, but guess what? Did that happen for us? Did the ports open 24 hours a day? No, the ports still kick everybody out around 2:30. They open back up around 7 in the morning. So that's the issue. They're not doing what they were supposed to do. And as you can see, that they always point the fingers at the drivers. And I can attest to this, and a million other drivers could attest to this. We want to work. We want to pull loads for the world, okay? Drivers all over the U.S., we want to make money, okay? For one, we want to make money for our families, and we want to play a part in the world and help the supply chain out the best way we can. But we can't do what they don't allow us to do. And if there's no work and there's no loads to move, what the heck are the truck drivers supposed to do? Let's get it.
The Port of Long Beach is struggling with it as well.
It's not a good situation for a trucker, but on the other hand, right now it's not a good situation for any stakeholder in the supply chain.
Many truckers say the ports have also stopped taking back empty containers, so drivers can't swap them for a full load to make a delivery and get turned away even after waiting in lines like this for hours.
So we have to wait in line hours, right? It was taking us like, you guys know that I worked the ports. If you was at ITS, it'd take you a few hours to get into that joint. Sometimes TTI takes you a few hours. FMS takes you a long time to get inside them ports. Just to get turned around because they don't want to take your empty container, right? And their excuse was, they had crazy excuses. There's not enough room for the empty containers. So if I'm dropping the empty off and picking up a loaded container, isn't that making space? But then they're saying, oh, we're only accepting certain colors and blah, 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 because they didn't want to take the containers, because if they took all those empty containers, then they would have to unload them ships. Then they wouldn't be making money off them ships sitting in the water. Let's get it.
For a new container.
It's very frustrating because we're not able to get all the work done that we need to get done. So it messes with our money. You know, I'm an owner operator, so I have my own business. So usually I can get 2 full round trips a day, but now you'll be lucky if you get 1 round trip. And sometimes you don't even get that.
President Biden recently ordered the ports to work 24/7, but they say little has changed because it takes time to make that happen, especially now when consumer demand is through the roof.
This port complex is the largest container port in the United States. Just to give you a context on that, for 2021, we're going to move 20 million TEU containers through this port.
We asked how long the Port of Long Beach thinks it'll take for them to transition to that 24/7 operation. They told us that at this point, that timeline is unclear. Reporting live from Long Beach tonight, Anusha Rasta, NBC4 News.
So you guys can see that the port's been having problems since last year. Now they're having more problems this year. Okay, so, you know, we all got to fight for what we want out here, guys. We all got to fight. We all got to speak and stand up for ourselves and stop being scared, you know, because I love the ports, you know. I love doing the ports more than OTR work, drive-in, reefer. I done probably pulled every kind of load, I done did flatbed, anything you guys can think of, I done did, you know, and I love working the ports. It's convenient for me. In my situation, I'm home every night. You know, but a lot of drivers are getting tired of getting mistreated, you know, when it comes to this port stuff. You feel me? So what we need to do as drivers is speak, because the truth, guys, it's not our fault. It's not our fault that these loads aren't getting moved. It's not our fault that people aren't getting they're not going to get their Christmas stuff this year. It's not going to be our fault, because we got businesses to run, all my owner operators out there. And if it's not profitable for our business, then I'm not starting up my truck. You feel me? And that's just how it is. You know, if I'm going to get screwed over and over, like eventually, you know, I'm going to go broke trying to run a company, just like a lot of people are right now. So you got to pick and choose your battles and pick and choose the loads that you guys want to do, because at the end of the day, you're the one behind that wheel. You know what I'm saying? And I hope 2023, the ports get better and things change like they said they was going to change, like opening the ports 24 hours a day. That will help. That will help if you have 24 hours a day in the ports. You just got to hire more union workers to cover those shifts, and the work will be there. I would love to work overnight. No traffic. No traffic. Come on now. No traffic on the freeway, and you in and out of the port. You get that way you probably get 3 to 4 loads done, round trips done a day, if there's no traffic on the freeway. Because I know the beginning of that pandemic, I was getting 3 round trips easy at the ports. So if they open up the ports 24 hours a day, a driver like me, I'm gonna work that overnight shift. I don't mind doing it. You know, it'll be easier for me to do that. And a lot of drivers, less wear and tear on your truck. You'll save more fuel not being in bumper to bumper traffic. If they open up 24 hours a day, I'm there. Sign me up. And I help find drivers to work that shift too. Okay, so I'm ready to do my part. I know a lot of drivers out there are ready to do their part too, but it has to be a team effort. You know, it ain't no driver shortage. What's going on is drivers are tired of working the ports and dealing with these issues, so they don't have no choice. If you're an owner-operator, what are you going to do? You're going to go OTR and find other lanes to run like you're supposed to. You have a business. And guess what's going to happen? They need to switch things up, because if you have an older truck, a 2010 truck, I don't think I don't think they should not let those trucks come into the ports because of the emission. Like, it's a give and take relationship. We in Southern California, it's full of pollution, you know. So an older truck going into the ports is not going to kill the environment. It's really not, because that truck is still going to be on the road anyway. If you have an older truck, you should be able to go inside the ports. But my fear is this: eventually they're going to be trying to put electric trucks only in the ports. Watch. You see how in Merce right now they got the robots doing everything. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen? Technology is going to take over, and everybody's going to have to change. You know what I'm saying? And if you guys are smart enough to do your research and always be 10 steps ahead of everybody else, so you guys don't get slapped in the face with stuff when things happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a firm believer, you got to watch the news so you guys know what's going on. You even got to watch the news in other states, other countries, so you guys can know exactly what's going on, because what happens around us is going to eventually affect us, guys. Always be on point. But I hope you guys like this video. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Please share this video and hit that like and subscribe button for me, guys. I got a lot of good content coming for you guys. I'm going to drop a video every day this month for you guys, and I might do the same every day next month in December. I'm going to be kind of busy, but I'm going to try my best to drop some videos for you guys every day this month. For sure I'm going to be able to do. Next month I might get a little busy, but even if I'm doing other things, I'm still going to drop videos. It might not be about trucking, it might be about other stuff, but I'm still going to drop videos for you guys. Okay, thank you. Let's get it.